All right, we're going to take a few minutes to show how to create an appointment calendar using Google Calendar. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to head to our Google Calendar. Once we're in Google Calendar, we'll go to the top left-hand corner, click Create, and we're going to go all the way down to Appointment Scheduler. All right, now, this is going to walk you through kind of the steps of how to create it. First things first, we're going to give it a name at the top. And this can be anything you want. We're going to go with Mr. Keeps Conference Sign Up. We're going to choose the length of our appointments. So for this example, I'm going to do 20 minutes. So I'm going to hit Custom, go to 20 and then minutes, and then click Save. All right, and then I do not want it to repeat, so I'm going to choose Does Not Repeat. And then I'm going to put in the dates for our actual conferences this year. So our first conference is on October 20th, and that's the daytime conference. So I'm going to change the starting time to 8 a.m. because that's the first conference slot that I want. And then I'm going to go all the way up to the last conference slot before lunch, which should end at 11:40 p.m. or a.m. So I'll put 11:40 there. I'll also add another line in so that I can do the after lunch one. That one is going to be from 12:35 to 12:55. So I'll type that in here. And then once I have those times in there, I'm going to go ahead and just add the rest of our dates. So I'll click Add a Date. Our next date for conferences is October 23rd. So I'll choose October 23rd, and that's a nighttime or evening conference. My first conference slot is going to be 4 p.m. So I'll scroll down to 4 p.m. and select that. I am going to go until, 5:10. Is going to be my last one before lunch, or dinner, I guess. And then after dinner, I'll get back at 6:05. So that'll be my first one after dinner. So I'll change the starting time to 6:05 p.m. And then my last one is going to end at 7:40. So I'll change the last one to 7:40 p.m. And really, you can choose any times you want for these. These are just the examples I'm using. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in our third date, which is October 28th this year. And then I'm going to use the same times. So my first one's going to be from 4 p.m. to 5:10 p.m. I'll have lunch or dinner at 5:10 till 6:05. For our final step for here is we're going to change the last time to be 6:05 p.m. until our last time at 7:40 p.m. And again, that just gives us a little bit buffer before that 8 p.m. end time so that all of my conferences end on time. You can change that end time to be anything that you need it to be. We'll move to the scheduling window. We're going to leave the start to 60 days. We're going to change the other one to 24 hours so that we have at least 24 hours notice before someone can schedule. Looking at our booked appointment settings, first thing I want to do is make sure I check off the guests can invite others. I don't want my guests to add people without letting me know first. And then I'm going to change the buffer time to be 5 minutes, just so I have a little bit of buffer in between each of my sessions or each of my conferences. Make sure those are all good. The next thing I want to do, and this is a difference, I'm going to click this off. So I'm not going to have calendars check availability. We had that check last year and it made some issues, so we're just going to get rid of it. Co-host, or if you have a teammate that you work with, most people leave that blank. We'll go to the next page. We'll give it a title. We're going to look at our location. So that's going to be in person. Even if you're going to offer Zoom, set it to in person right now. Put the school address in there. You can put your classroom number, whatever you want for the location. A brief description. You don't even have to put anything here. It's not required. It's up to you. I'm going to say something like, please use this to schedule a time to meet. And if I could type a little bit better, this would be a little bit faster, but it is what it is. Moving on, we're going to go to the booking form. So by default, it's got first name, last name, address. I'm going to add 2 items. The first one is going to be a custom item. I'm going to require it, and then I'm going to put the student's name, just so you know, in case they have a different last name or which parent goes with which student. And the other thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add a question on if it has, would they like to meet in person or via Zoom? that'll help me later. I can go back in and invite them via Zoom. I'll make that required as well, and I'll add that item. Once I've added those, I'll double check them. Looks good to me. The last thing I'm going to do is just double check these. I'm going to leave an email reminder one day before, and then I will click save. That brings me back to the main page. So I can delete it. I can look at the share. So I'm going to hit share. I'm going to click copy link. And this is the link that I'll send out to my families so that they can sign up. Now, just to give you an idea of what our families will see, I'll open this booking page. The top left-hand corner, I'll click see what others see. Your families will get in here. They can jump to any time that has it. They have different conferences. They'll click on this. They can fill it out and then hit save. When you do that, you will get an email that somebody signed up, and you'll also be able to see them in your calendar. So for example, here, I signed up for one. You'll see it on the calendar. You can click on it. You'll see all the information. For this one, they said that they want to meet via Zoom, please. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the edit button. Once I've hit the edit button, I click make it a Zoom meeting. And then the most important part here is I want to make sure that I click that waiting room button there, 3 lines from the top, to make sure that anybody that enters is entering the meeting room. And then I'll click the save button or continue button. Keep in mind, you don't have to do it this way. You can always just email your parents your meeting link that you normally do and do it that way. It's up to you.